Welcome back to Narutovember, guys. So today we're going to be talking about arc number 2, the Chunin Exams. Probably one of the most important arcs in the series.
I'd say, yeah. Most impactful too. There's a lot of different things that go on from meeting all of the rest of the important characters from Naruto and Sasuke's class to the introduction of villains and finally you actually get a big arch villain. So all of this happens inside this arc.
So the Chunin Exams are basically it's a big kind of interactive test to see if a ninja can basically graduate up to the next level of kind of ninja status.
It's not just the village hidden in the leaves. It is all of the major ninja villages come together and send people to participate in this. So you get to see the sound ninja, you get to see sand ninja, water ninja,
and on top of that, sometimes nobody passes.
A lot of times nobody passes, yeah.
Which is odd to me because it seems like if you're trying to build up your ninja fleet or whatever, and you want them to be strong ninja, why would you make it so impossible or so incredibly difficult for them to basically graduate to the next level? As far as the levels of ninja, do you remember what the levels are?
So
Genin, bottom level.
Chunin,
which is what these exams are testing for.
Jonin,
which is a step of that. Think of it like graduating from the Ninja Academy is like getting your high school diploma. And then becoming a Chunin is kind of like getting your bachelor's degree. And then becoming a Jonin is like getting your master's degree. On top of this kind of test, we get to meet basically all the rest of the main characters in the show. There's a lot of them. So the first team is Shikacho.
I like Choji.
I bet you do, Chunky.
Choji.
Well, let's talk about Choji then. So who's Choji?
Choji is a ninja who is always eating. He's very, very chunky. He likes rolling up into a ball. You can see that he emanates strength, but he also has a lot of fat to go along with that.
Yeah, he's just like a brute force ninja. He's just he's about pushing people around and overpowering them by force. What's his snack of choice that he always has with him? Chips everywhere.
You know what happens if you try to eat your own chips? He takes your last one.
Because he will not let anyone eat the last chip except for him.
Even if they're your chips, he will take your last chip. It's hilarious.
He is such a funny character. He is always eating. Always eating. There's Ino, who is kind of Sakura's rival. Her and Sakura used to be really close friends, and then they kind of became teenagers and they let Sasuke become this stupid wedge between them because boys.
Sasuke did nothing to either one of them to provoke this. They were just like, I like Sasuke. I like Sasuke too. But we can't be friends now because we both like Sasuke.
Because that's how girls work. I know. It's so stupid. Girls, don't forsake your best friend over a stupid boy. That's all I'm saying. Especially a boy who has no interest in you.
In either one of you.
I don't get why all these women fawn over Sasuke. All these girls. It's just so weird because he's so disinterested. He's a jerk. Her power is she has mind control powers. Which is really cool. It's her powers are really cool. And then lastly, we have Shikamaru. Shikamaru's whole thing is that everything is troublesome. It's his favorite word.
Troublesome. It's just so
everything
troublesome.
Is so troublesome.
Speaking and breathing to Shikamaru is troublesome sometimes.
He's so lazy. He is extremely intelligent, just extremely lazy.
It's like the kid in school who knows all the answers, writes half of them correctly, and then goes to sleep.
Yeah, it was me in algebra class, basically. It was me in math class. Shikamaru was actually a really awesome character. He's probably one of my favorite characters.
He's a great character. I like him. He can control his shadow, and he can control your movements by touching your shadow to his shadow. Well, and the three of them together make a really good team.
Yeah,
right?
they do.
So you have two controlling, and then you have one big brute force guy that takes them all down.
Who's next? We have Shino, Hinata, and Kiba, and his sidekick, Akamaru.
Shino. So I see a lot of influences in Shino from other Japanese pop culture, mainly Final Fantasy. He reminds me of one of the characters from Final Fantasy so much.
He's so creepy. Yeah.
And
speaking of that, what does he do?
Bugs. He houses bugs inside his body.
He's so creepy. He's like a walking hive.
Yeah, he's basically a walking hive.
Like, it's really cool, but it's so creepy, like, to see him fight and do stuff.
And he can command them. So he's like Ant-Man. He can give commands to these bugs and have them do different things. And you find out that each of the bugs that he houses in his body all have different purposes. And he doesn't take any second chances. Like, he layers, like, he's got, you know, A through Z. It's
so funny. Every time he has to approach like Naruto to talk to him for something, Naruto gets like freaked out because he's a true ninja in the sense that he'll just sneak up on you.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh god.
So why did you do that? Why do you keep sneaking up on me?
Next up is Hinata, who I just want to say this before we talk more in depth about her. She is the one female character that is not madly like lusting over Sasuke. She adores Naruto. It's so cute.
It is hilarious.
She's outside of Iruka. At the beginning of the series, she's the only other character who like sees him and
as
respects him and admires him. So, but yeah, she's very quiet. She's very shy.
But it leads to these really cool moments between Naruto and Hinata where they get to, where you get to see Naruto just be a person. And not be the ninja that's trying to be, you know, the Hokage. Naruto talks normally, and then he touches her and she passes out.
Yeah, which is funny because like her teammates Shino and Kiba, they both know this about her. Like it's
hilarious,
very obvious, and so every time Naruto's around, they're just like expecting her to pass out.
Every time Naruto like comes closer, her face turns red.
You know what's really funny is like initially Naruto just thinks she's weird.
Yeah,
because she's like so shy, and every time he's around, she struggles like talking and finding her words and stuff. She's just really quiet, and Naruto's just like, you're weird, you're a weirdo. She has special eyes too. They're called the Byakugan.
It allows them to see in pretty much a 360-degree radius, as well as you can see the chakra lines inside the body.
So next up is Kiba and his partner
Akamaru.
So Kiba is he's another loud, boisterous character, kind of like Naruto. This massively big personality, and in the same way, he also kind of tends to just charge into battle, and he doesn't always have the best strategy. He just likes to fight and get in there and play rough.
Force.
And then his partner
Akamaru,
who is a
puppy.
He's a dog.
a little puppy.
Yeah.
And he can do all sorts of really cool things with the dog, and you know, not only does the dog have a sense of smell, but it can actually perform its own jujitsu, which is really cool as well.
Yeah, it's really awesome. It's like it's an actual ninja dog. It fights with him. He can communicate with Akamaru too. Next up, we have Team Guy. So Team Guy, they're also Genin, but they are a year older than the other students.
They did not take the exams when they had the ability the first time.
Yeah, the Chunin Exams.
Guy thought they needed a little bit more time, so they're taking the exams now.
Yeah, so they're a little bit older, they're a little more well-trained, a little more experienced.
A lot more experienced.
Rock Lee!
Oh, so many different things going on here. Like,
he is an intense character. Now that I think about it, I think Lee is actually the most similar to Naruto. Because they both have that, they're both kind of like black sheep, they're both kind of rejects, they both kind of have to work a lot, they work really hard, they're not like naturally gifted and talented like some of the other ninja are. There's three main types of ninja arts in this world. There's taijutsu, ninjutsu, and genjutsu. So taijutsu is kind of like, you know, punching, kicking, it's like physical fighting. That's what taijutsu is. Ninjutsu is using kind of like your standard ninja, like fancy ninja attacks, I guess you could say. So you can shoot like fireballs, you can summon clones, you can like transform yourself, you can do like substitution and hiding and stuff. There's a lot of random stuff that comes from ninjutsu. It's basically just ninja stuff is the way I think of it.
Genjutsu is it's kind of like stuff that goes on inside your mind. It clouds things, it changes things, the appearance of things.
It's an illusion-based ninja
illusions.
attack. Most shinobi can use all three of them. They can use taijutsu, ninjutsu, and genjutsu. Rock Lee can't.
Just can't do ninjutsu.
He can't do it.
Yep.
He can't do ninjutsu or genjutsu. He can only do taijutsu. I mean, when you can't do something, when you can't do certain things, but you can do another thing really well. Do it really, 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 really well. And he is crazy to watch. I think he's the most fun ninja to watch fight.
He is very extravagant, very over the top.
He's really intense, and he's
really
a lot to handle, but he's just like always super positive. He has an amazing work ethic, almost to a fault. Him and Shikamaru are my two favorite characters. Next up, we have Neji.
So Neji is Hinata's cousin. Neji actually comes from what they call a branch family. So they have their head family, and then brothers and sisters of the main head family, when they have kids, they're called branch families. He kind of resents the head family. And so with Hinata being from the head family, he really kind of resents her.
He believes a lot in like fate and purpose and stuff.
Like preordained as well.
Yeah, because I think part of that has to do with the fact of the family he comes from, because being part of the branch family is not treated very well. They're kind of meant to be subservient to the main family. They do some kind of awful things to them to kind of help control their power and stuff. And so it's understandable why he doesn't like the main family, because they're not always the best. He was the #1 rookie of his class, kind of like Sasuke was. So he's a very, very talented ninja, often labeled a genius, right? Mm-hmm. And he has the same power as Hinata, so he also has the Byakugan. Since their eyes can see the chakra network in the body, they can kind of use their palms to like shoot chakra into their enemies and kind of damage the internal chakra network and their organs.
And keep them from, they can keep the chakra flowing through the body, and when you screw up the flow of chakra in the body, the opponent can't do anything.
So then the last one in their team is Tenten. Yeah, we don't learn much about Tenten.
She's a weapons master.
She is a weapons master.
She's a weapons master. We learned that much. She knows how to utilize every weapon out there.
She's like if you took all the characters in Soul Calibur and smashed them into one character. I was actually kind of sad that we didn't get to see more of her.
I thought she was a really cool character.
Yeah, because like there's not like a ton of females in the show. Mm-hmm. Like there's quite a few, but there's not a ton of them. And so like I was kind of disappointed she didn't have a bigger role in this particular arc. Guy Sensei!
Guy.
Oh, what do we even say about this dude? He is intense. That they say that all the
intense.
time.
Guy is very, very intense. He has this rivalry thing going with Kakashi.
He has a self-appointed rivalry with Kakashi. Kakashi doesn't give two craps about this rivalry. He really doesn't care. Rock Lee idolizes the crap out of Guy. He loves him to pieces. He dresses like him. His whole style is like him. His hair, his intensity matches him. They use the same fighting style. Mm-hmm. And part of that is because Guy is such just a positive and supportive guy, and he believes in the power of youth and the power of hard work. And just if you work hard and you keep at it and you never give up, you'll be able to achieve anything.
Never give up. Never surrender.
If I can't do 500 push-ups, then I'm going to do 1,000 squats. And if I can't do 1,000 squats, I'm going to do 2,000 jumping jacks.
If I can't do that...
if I can't do that, I'm going to do something else. If I can't do that, I'm going to run 5 miles.
The funny time, every time they do that, in my head I'm always thinking, what if they actually do the 1,000 push-ups? Then what? Are they just done? We have the ninja from the Sand Village. They are Gaara, Kankuro, and Tamari.
So the moment they're introduced, they are just an absolute threat to everything. They just have this feeling. Their character designs are really well done.
They feel overwhelmingly intimidating and foreboding and kind of
powerful. So Kankuro carries this big wrapped thing on his back. It looks like it's a big weapon of some sort that he keeps hidden as he carries it around. Turns out that he is a puppet master.
Next up is Tamari. And these three are siblings, by the way. Gaara, Kankuro, and Tamari, they're siblings. She's definitely kind of the leader of the group, being the oldest one, of course. So she very much takes charge. She's very sure of herself.
She's incredibly intelligent as well.
Yeah, she very much cares for her siblings. She's always looking out for their best interests and their well-being. Her power is she has a giant fan. It's cooler than it sounds, I promise.
She can use the giant fan to create gusts of wind that are so finite they can actually cut through stuff.
They are the ninja team of carrying giant things on their back. Because Kankuro's got his puppet, Tamari's got her giant fan,
and then Gaara's
got his gourd of sand. So I guess we'll talk about Gaara now.
From the moment that you meet him, you're just like, there's something wrong here. This guy is not all there, and this is going to be...
Yeah, you can tell he's the one to fear, and you know this because his siblings fear him.
They try to keep him from getting to his breaking point, but they understand that once he gets to his breaking point, you just get the hell out of the way.
As far as his power, as we mentioned, he carries around a big gourd of sand on his back.
He can and he uses his chakra to manipulate the sand, so he can cause it to do different things.
So he can manipulate it, but on top of that, the sand protects him. So you can't really hurt him, because if you try and hurt him, the sand will come out and it'll kind of form a shield around him to stop any potential threats. Kabuto is the next ninja. So Kabuto is an older ninja at this point. He's taken the Chunin Exams six times,
seven times, something.
He's taken them a lot. He's failed every time. He's kind of a weird dude. Like, he doesn't like come off as super weird, but there's some things about him that are just kind of off. Like the fact that he's taken this exam so many times, and he's intelligent. He doesn't seem like he should be failing, but he's failed all these times, and it's like, why is he failing so much?
He's a Leaf Ninja Village too, or Leaf Village Ninja, and so he wants to help all of the other Leaf Ninja pass. So he just comes off as being the guy who'll go out of his way to help, even if it costs him, failing the exam again.
The first part's the paper exams. You have to pass a paper test.
So the questions on the test are only a handful of people would have been able to answer those, and it turns out that the test itself wasn't the focus of the actual test.
It was like the most ninja test you can take. It was basically a test where they had to cheat without getting caught. So they all use these awesome, really cool ways to kind of cheat and get the correct answers on the test, except for one of them.
Naruto.
You dumb fucking idiot.
He sits there the entire thing and writes nothing on his piece of paper.
And he's like stressing out and freaking out the whole time. It's like, oh, what should I do? Don't know the answer. Should I cheat? Should I not cheat? If I get caught, if I fail, then my teammates will fail. Like, he's losing his mind the whole time. So they said the 10th question, if you get the question right, that's awesome. You guys get to keep going. But if you get the question wrong,
you can never take the Chunin Exams again.
You can never take the Chunin Exams again. You'll be a genin for the rest of your life.
And so it was do you put yourself and the confidence in yourself over your team, right? Where does that boundary lie?
So the whole point of it was, if you were willing to stick with your team and to not like turn your back on them in like a time of need, even if it meant you had to sacrifice everything. And so at the end of it, they're collecting all the papers, and he's looking at all the answers. The proctor's like looking at all the things people wrote down. He gets to Naruto's paper. Blank.
He's like,
nothing.
And he said that he really respected Naruto for sticking around through the 10th question when having a completely blank paper.
Because that's all it came down to is like, do you have the guts to do this, to be a ninja? Do you really have like the strength and the bravery to do it? So after the paper exam, they have a forest exam where they basically have to go in a creepy, scary forest and survive and get some scrolls and stuff. One half of the teams are given a certain scroll, and the other half of the teams are given a different kind of scroll. And in order to pass, you need to get to a certain location with both of the scrolls. Oh, and you can die. This is why like the Chunin Exams don't make sense to me. It's like, why would you make an exam where you can kill your like trainees or your applicants? It's like if you were to join the army, and in order to get into the army, you had to like go to a live combat training with live ammunition and actual like explosives and bombs and stuff.
Starship Troopers. Yes, remember the live fire ammunition training?
Yeah, did it make any sense?
Nope.
No, it made no sense. So basically all of these teams, they all go into the forest, and one, they have to survive the forest, and then they also have to fight the other ninja teams, possibly to the death, to obtain the scrolls. One specific thing happens. We meet one specific character. Orochimaru.
He's kind of like the mastermind that's going on behind everything. He's pulling all the strings from behind the curtains.
He's into snakes. He's into developing and doing all these like forbidden and hidden jutsus that are really immoral and unethical. And he's got some kind of plan going on. We don't really know what it is, but he's got some kind of plan going on. And he ends up fighting Team 7. He ends up fighting Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. They're petrified. Even Sasuke, who's generally pretty fearless, right? Like he meets this guy and he's just like, he can't move.
It was interesting because prior to that point, Sasuke, like nothing, even when they were facing, a Jonin, he was not at all. He wasn't intimidated. He was just like, I'm gonna take you out.
So we get to see a point where like Naruto's demon fox comes out, and he fights Orochimaru, and like The demon fox is scary. Later on, after that fight, they're kind of all incapacitated, and then it's Sakura's moment to shine because she has to watch over Naruto and Sasuke, who are almost dead.
She holds her own, and 3 against 1, she holds her own until somebody comes by to help her out.
I think that was like the most she's done. And it wasn't that much. Something, I guess.
It was something.
On the way back, or on the way to the building at the center of the forest when they had the scrolls, they ran into Kabuto again, and then they made it into that building in the center, and we find out Kabuto is a lot stronger than he lets on. Like, he's failed these exams on purpose. And then it makes you wonder, like, how many other people are kind of involved in whatever scheme he has going on.
Yeah, like, who else is a double agent, right?
Finally, we get to the preliminary matches. They had too many people pass the forest. So they have to hold preliminary exams, which are basically just randomized 1v1 matches, and whoever wins gets to advance to the final stage of the Chunin exams. Ninja versus ninja.
No outside help allowed. You can have ninja tools.
Everything at your disposal, but it's just in a controlled space. So Sasuke ends up fighting this random...
Sound ninja?
He's a sound ninja.
He can't use a lot of his powers because of the curse mark will take over if he loses control of the curse mark.
And then they have to like rush Sasuke down to like the infirmary to like take care of him because the curse mark was getting out of control. So Shino fought one of the sound ninja. He fought the sound ninja whose arms were broken.
Yep.
It looks like Shino's like beat at first, but then Shino uses his beetles. How do you freaking fight that? I don't know how you fight like a swarm of chakra eating bugs. Like, what do you do? Shikamaru, he ends up fighting another sound ninja.
Yep, another one of the sound ninjas.
So Kankuro, he ends up fighting one of the sound ninja who was on Kabuto's team.
Yeah, he like extend his arms and wrap them around people.
Tamari ends up fighting Tenten from Team Guy. And Tenten was the weapons expert, and so this was us getting to see her fight. And then Tamari is the wind with the big fan.
Tenten fights any of the other sound ninja, and she has a chance. This one just like, it was too lopsided. So Choji fights another one of the sound ninjas.
It's the sound ninja.
He didn't really want to fight.
He didn't want to fight. He was just going to give up.
He was just going to give up. And his sensei gets him to fight by telling him if he fights, he gets to go to a barbecue.
Barbecue.
And Choji's like, barbecue!
Sakura ends up fighting Ino, actually, her former best friend, right? And her rival, whatever. But then when they actually fought, they didn't want to hurt each other because they still care about each other.
They kept pulling punches and things like that.
This was actually the fight where we got to see Sakura do something. Because up to this point, she hasn't had much to do.
No.
She's always been overshadowed by Sasuke and Naruto because they're the stronger ninjas. They're the better ninjas. I like this kind of dual personality that she has. There's like her outward personality and then her inner one. And they're really different from each other, actually. Hinata and Neji get to fight. And this is how you can really tell they're choosing people to, like, they really purposefully picked people. They fight with the same style. They have the same, Byakugan eyes so they can see each other's, like, attacks and chakra networks and stuff. But Neji's just so overpowering and oppressive. And Naruto's like, no, don't give up, Hinata. And I'm just over here like, dude, shut up. You're gonna get her killed. What are you
people die,
doing?
yeah.
But I think it really showed like kind of the resentment felt by the Branch family. Hinata had not done anything wrong to Neji personally.
Nope.
He hated the main family so much for basically being given his lot in life. It was almost like a really kind of interesting allegory for like, prejudice, right? And how it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, Naruto and
he fights Kiba.
Kiba.
Yeah, the two like big boisterous loudmouth like
punch each other and
punch 'em up fighters.
Yep.
They just want to get in there and brawl. It was mostly Kiba brawling the crap out of Naruto.
Naruto has some stamina. I tell you what, that guy can take a beating.
I think he's made out of like adamantium or some crap. So I was just like, how do you get hit by all of these attacks? He didn't even try to avoid any of them. He's just like, oh crap, good. Every time they get into a fight, he's like, I'm gonna make all the shadow clones. And then they all get like beat up and poof away because he sucks at everything. This fight actually, it did show that Naruto, like he can be surprisingly smart and quick on his feet in a fight.
It's when he doesn't have time to think. It's when he's put in
It's kind of when he's pushed to his very limit and he's on his last legs and like he has to do something now or he's just gonna lose. Do you know what Naruto hates more than anything else?
Losing.
He hates losing. He hates it. Hates losing. And he somehow always finds a way, almost to a fault, I think. I think sometimes it's kind of like a Deus Ex Machina thing. A lot of the times with his fights where they just make him like,
he wins.
Suddenly he becomes a genius in the fight. And it's like everything he's done up to this point says he would never think to do this. You would think that Naruto's fight would be the big fight, right? It's not. Naruto's fight happens like halfway through the preliminary matches, right?
Yeah.
There's Gaara fights, he's the scary guy, right? And he fights Lee. This fight is nuts. It is insane.
At this point, Gaara is so overwhelmingly powerful. You know Lee is powerful, he's strong, he's fast, but you don't know how strong he...
Well, you don't think he can take Gaara, because we saw
no.
Gaara do things like Gaara's just like a monster.
He obliterated people in an instant.
It's basically a Dragon Ball Z fight. So like just when you think you've seen everything that both of these fighters or ninjas can like dish out and take, they like just up it again and again and again. And I was totally not expecting it. I was just like, why is this fight like this?
It's probably one of the best fights in the series.
So that's it for the preliminary exams, and that's kind of sort of the end of the main Chunin exam arc.
It was really fun. Like the psychological aspect at the beginning was a lot of fun. It showed a different part of the ninja training, what a ninja had to do. The second part was basically the survival. It was a survival training of the ninja, and that was a really interesting one.
So this arc really served as kind of like the main jumping point for the rest of the series, because it introduces all the rest of the main characters, it introduces the main villain, it works to kind of expand the ninja world and like show you the different nations and villages and stuff and like how everything works and all that. So I know I mentioned Shikamaru and Lee are my two favorite characters, but I like all of them. I like them more than the main characters.
No, absolutely. I feel that all of the characters that they introduced, the supporting characters, are better than the three main. You know, Sakura, Sasuke, and Naruto just are...
I don't think it's a bad thing that the supporting characters are that good. You can have episodes that focus less on the main characters, and even if you're watching something that focuses more on the other characters, you're still really invested and interested in learning about them. I thought the story here was really awesome too. Like just kind of seeing all the different trials and tribulations they had to go through. It was really cool, and just all the different layers. This was a really, really big arc. There was a lot to take in. A lot happened. But I think of all of the main arcs of this series, this was the best one.
It did a really good job of doing everything that you need a story to do in terms of setting up everybody. It was entertaining.
So, good stuff still, yeah. Good stuff. Thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. So Naruto, the Chunin exams, good stuff. The best arc in this first series, I think, personally. There might be a few other highlights from some of the other arcs, but I think as a whole, this was the best one by far. Really makes you look forward to spending more time with these characters and watching them grow and see how they develop. It's good stuff. Thanks again to my good buddy Wes. He's gonna be joining me for the rest of the month, of course. Anyway, if you enjoyed this content, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below. You can also head over to Twitter and to Facebook and follow on there. And as always, if you want to know your flicks, you know where to click. All right, I'll see you guys all next time.